Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Mic check. Mic check 1 2. What is going on, everybody? What is happening on this cold and balmy Saturday? Yes, old man winter is here, and he's starting to look for a motel room. It looks like in my city. It has gone from being 65 degrees in yesterday to being literally 39 degrees. 24-hour turn. Wow, oh wow. So, first, a shameless plug. I will be doing an election wrap up show at 8 p.m. If any of you all are interested in the turnout, that's of what happened with the U.S. elections and things like that, people have been following me on that. I will set all that up a little bit later today. I got a lot of stuff to do today. So that's another reason why I'm up early, because I'm literally about 8:45. My Uber comes and then my day starts. So I'll be here with you all to at least 8:30. We're gonna get a little bit of it in. We're gonna do a finale here for we're gonna do a finale here about the Sony going in the wrong direction. But we'll start off with what you guys are playing. So I will go first as normal. I am playing Resident Evil 8 in the third person mode. I'm also playing God of War Ragnarok, and I'm playing Madden 2023. So rest in peace, John Madden. So also in memoriam, the gentleman that does the voice for the animated Batman series. Let me get his name right here. I want to make sure I get his name right here. Kevin, his name is Kevin Conroy. He was the voice actor for Batman animation, and he has passed away. And so in memorial to him, let's have a little 10-second moment of silence to show our respect. I'm not a huge Batman fan, but I know he's a cultural icon. And so we'll have a little 10-second moment of silence. Start right. All right, and yeah, thank you all for doing that. Also, big shout out, happy belated Veterans Day. It used to be called Armistice Day, and but shout out to all the veterans out there, male and female. Okay, because it's not just men that are serving in the armed forces. So shout out to everybody out there that's putting it on the wood for all of us, so that I can literally sit here online and have conversations. So yeah, definitely appreciate those guys and gals for doing that. So, but we'll go ahead and get into it. As you can see, let's see the games that you're playing. Good morning to everybody here. Shout out to Gaming Night. He's always a big time supporter. Appreciate you. Deidre's in the house. What's happening? The Nightbot is here because why not? Silver Grain, how are you doing? Cloud Strife is always in the house. What's happening? Ghost in the Garage. How's everybody doing? So again, what are we all playing? I'm playing Ragnarok. I'm playing Resident Evil 8 in third person mode, which I prefer that. The first person mode can actually see more, and which is odd. Let's see here, and Madden. So I'm about to start playing Aloy on the OLED. So as it was meant to be played is what I was told by everybody. So, but we'll go ahead and get into it. We're going to start. I've seen or saw multiple podcasts of people who were complaining about Sony, who were leaving things on social media, them being anti-consumer. They were podcasting that Sony was going in the wrong direction. And I actually had a conversation with somebody last night, and what she was telling me was that the term anti-consumer is actually the new way of saying I don't like something that a company is doing. So because even though anti-consumerism is a legal definition, um, he is saying it's being interchanged with the phrase "I don't like what they're doing," and that they put it out as being anti-consumer. So yes, I did. Somebody did send me the first 20 minutes or so of Marlin Gaming Nation's podcast, and this will be the last time I make a comment on him. Yeah, he was one of the many people who were telling you and everybody else that Sony was being anti-consumer when they raised the price up, and how angry people were going to be, and this isn't right. He was saying things like that. I remember it well. But as we can see, we'll just go to this story right here. They did raise the price up, and they raised it in Europe and in other theaters. They didn't raise it in North America. Even though they raised the prices it's still the best-selling console in Europe in October. So again, my point to you all is that they know what they're doing. This will get into more about the people who told you they were going in the wrong direction. Now that we can see the numbers, we can clearly see they're not. But this is from William D'Angelo. This was posted 20 hours ago. And apparently, we'll just go right down here because we don't have to worry about overall. Let's make it clear. Console sales are down 33%, but that is because of the Nintendo Switch OLED model launching. That's according to the article. Right? It says that the PlayStation 5 was the best-selling console in the tracked European markets and is the first time since September of 2022, roughly a year, which was at number one. So PlayStation 5s were just ahead of the Nintendo Switch. So had they raised now that the prices have been up for months and Sony's grip is getting stronger, that means that it's not anti-consumer. Marlin, like a lot of other people, Marlin Gaming Nation, he interchanges something he doesn't like for anti-consumerism. He'll say it's anti-consumer, even though it's not, because he doesn't like it. And not just him, a lot of people do that. They interchange what's happening. It's bullshit, but that's what guys like him do. And we can clearly see from the numbers. We can all say, well, I don't like that Sony raised the price. We can all say that. But what we cannot deny is that even though they raised the price, the console is still selling like hotcakes, butter, and syrup. And I'm talking about it's selling like Mrs. Butterworth got that syrup on it. Everybody likes them some Mrs. Butterworth. And I don't give a damn if you're diabetic or not. You're going to use Mrs. Butterworth. We all know it. You might as well just admit it. So Sony is absolutely killing it, and they're setting records. So, and again, there has been no case of anti-consumerism brought against Sony that people that claim they were being anti-consumer has won. So, in spite the price going up, the PS5 still outsold the Series X. And remember, it's outselling the Series S. And the number one in J-Dub City, shout out to J-Dub City. If you don't know, J-Dub City was back. He stopped through on 60 frames, no lag. So go check that out. He made his glorious appearance. The glorious appearing. J-Dub, shout out to my man J-Dub City. You got to remember, and he is 100% correct, about 75 to 80% of the Xboxes that are being sold are the little bitty Xbox One S's. Again, I'm not knocking it. I'm not here to knock it. That's just the reality that we're dealing with. That's the split. Like 75, 25, 80, 20, something like that. So even though the Xbox One S, which was on sale, even in the United States at Target, you could get an Xbox One S. You could get it came with, I think, a month of Game Pass, and it came with an extra controller that you could pick. I mean, you couldn't pick their specialty controllers, but you got an extra controller for no price, and it was $249 or $229. So again, I'm here's why I'm saying this to you guys is because you all listen to them. I stopped listening to guys like Marlon because I knew they weren't telling the truth. But and because we can now, I knew they weren't, but now I'm wanting to present to you the physical numbers so that you all can see the physical number that Sony is moving with. Therefore, if you see the physical number, because we can all say it, I stand on this. It's not really official until Sony puts the number out. But I already knew this. Like, I already knew what they were doing. And there's other podcasters you can put into this. There's podcasters that will podcast today that are, there's podcasters that will podcast tonight. It told you Sony is moving in the wrong direction. Sony doesn't, why are you doing this? Why are you putting games on PC? Why are you, even though Sony's always put games on PC, right? And then look, no company is perfect. And I'm not here to say that Sony is perfect. But what these clowns, and these are straight up clowns, the way they were reacting, these betas were doing this on this reactionary stuff, you got to call BS when it's BS, okay? When a cow drops when a bull drops a turd in the field, you got to call it what it is. And these dudes dropped a giant turd. And unfortunately, a lot of you all still listen to them. I still peek in and I see a lot of you guys over there. So the question is going to start becoming, if these guys don't know what they're talking about, why are you listening to them? I mean, that's just a general question that I would like answered. You can leave a comment in the comment section on why you're listening. All right? These guys don't know what they're talking about. If somebody told you to cut through a field that was on fire, are you going to go? Or are you going to cut through the field that's not on fire? Hey, the field over there is not on fire. So explain to me if they're going in the wrong direction, which is perfectly fine to say. You can say, I don't like the direction they're going, but to say they're going, that's different than saying they're going in the wrong direction. But you see how these idiots interchange words to push a narrative. I'm going to say that again. These idiots interchange words to push a narrative. If Sony were going in the wrong direction, even though their price went up, why is it the best-selling console in Europe, the European markets? It went up in Europe, right? Again, they don't know what they're talking about. Okay? They told you that Modern Warfare 2, that Modern Warfare was a dead game. Same guys. Modern Warfare is dead. Modern Warfare got this wrong. They got that wrong. Okay, sorry ass, then why are the sales up? If the game, and don't get me wrong, it's one thing to say you don't like something. But again, these idiots interchange what they don't like for reality. And the reality is that the sales, and I don't play this. You all know I do not play this game. Even though Sony was anti-consumer and they drugged me down the street in my underwear with a stripe, drugged me down the street and they forced me to buy Modern Warfare 2. All right? Again, because they're so anti-consumer, right? They gave me the choice, right? So if Modern Warfare is now, it may be dead to that joker, and that's perfectly fine, but you only speak for yourself, dumbass. You don't speak for nobody else. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for the people that are hearing this podcast. Speak for yourself, and you need to speak what you know and know what you speak. If this game was dead, it wouldn't have sold like this. And this thing made, I heard, close to $750 to $800 million in 3 days. These guys would wish to be able to create a product that sold $80 in 3 days. So I'm just saying to you guys, eventually you all got to start looking at the man in the mirror, so to speak, and say, hey, look, I am no longer going to listen to people that are, making this kind of accusation. That's my opinion. I wouldn't listen to them. There are podcasters out there who probably have really good podcasts, but I don't listen to them because they straight clown. Something happens, they have an emotional beta reaction, because that's what they are. They are betas. They are participating in No Nut November. I can tell you right now, I have failed No Nut November spectacularly. I mean, it was a spectacular crash, me failing No Nut November. I mean, I didn't fail it at least 15 to 20 times already, and I'm going to fail it again this afternoon. So, but these guys are actually participating in it, not because they want to, but because they got to. So you need to start asking yourself, if they're headed in the wrong direction, why don't the data that is objective, why isn't the objective data matching your rhetoric? Okay, there's a saying, your ego done wrote a bunch of checks that your body can't cash. So, and sales are definitive. You cannot say something isn't selling well, something isn't making money. You can say, I don't like it. And you can say, I don't like it, but you cannot say that it's not selling or it's not making money. God of War is doing so well that over in Europe, in the UK, they sold more in one day, according to this article. This is Mr. William D'Angelo again, than the first week of God of War. So what does that mean? That means whatever the first week of God of War sales was in the United Kingdom 4 years ago, ever that was, I don't know that number, Ragnarok outsold it in 24 hours. So how many hours are in the week? Let's find out. Alexa, how many hours are in a week? Thank you. So they did in 24 hours, but it took them 168 hours to do. Does that sound like a company going in the wrong direction? I mean, what's your opinion? No, forget about that. You're seeing the numbers. So what do you think? Is Sony going in the wrong direction? These PlayStation fanboys, these gamers, said that, somebody has to explain this. This game is dying, then why is it the top selling game? According to this is sales. Modern Warfare 2, the B2 itself, Modern Warfare B2 tops the PS5 store again, but the game is going downhill. I mean, you can have your opinions, but you're not allowed to have your own facts. These are facts I'm putting out there. And these clowns wanted me to debate them. Are you nuts? I mean, are you crazy? I will emasculate you in a debate. I am not going to pull your gaming card. I'll pull your man card. So, I mean, yeah, I'm the wrong person to be debating now that these numbers are coming out. It wasn't my sorry ass that told my audience that Sony was going in the wrong direction. I didn't say that. I said, I don't know what direction they're going. Let's wait and see if they have a plan that's for this changing landscape, because you had a pandemic. We had a global pandemic that we're starting to get out of, thank God, where you also had supply chain issues, major supply chain issues. And we're still having issues with certain things. But you all kept telling people, just like, you had somebody tell you that the game Control, didn't you have somebody tell you that the game Control had flopped, had failed? Wasn't that Slow-Mo? Shout out to Slow-Mo. That's no diss on Slow-Mo. But if it failed, then why would Remedy greenlight okay. I don't Okay. We're just going to go to Polygon. We're going to put this on the screen for all the kids and boys around the world. Okay. So let's go ahead and take it down. My OBS doesn't act right all the time. If control failed, and this is for guys who thought control hit flop, why is Remedy going to do a big budget sequel? Why? I mean, how many of you all have businesses and you have an intellectual property that flops or doesn't do well? Are they being the people that control the money, the COO and the CEO, why are they going to give you more money to pour into a failed project? I mean, I really want you to think about that. And again, I always said Control was a hit. It made a lot of money for them being Remedy. So, and again, this game may be 3 years out. I'm not here to say it's coming tomorrow. I am simply saying to you, why would a company that is a for-profit company put money into a project that failed or flopped? Let's use some common sense here. We're men here. Let's use some logic. This means the jabronis that told you that Control failed didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And that's no diss. It just means, hey, look, they're making a sequel. These guys were wrong. They told you wrong. So your job at this point is to call bullshit on them. That's what I'm doing at this point. So anybody who said that Control failed, guess what? This is a big old turd dropped in your face. So what excuse are they going to give for this? You know, why didn't they do? I mean, they did another Alan Wake as well. I mean, not another. Aren't they doing another Alan Wake? Is what I've been told. You know, but they didn't do the other one, Quantum Break. They didn't do a sequel to Quantum Break. Why? Because Quantum Break didn't do the number they thought. And Quantum Break, I like it. I like games like that. You all know I like the science fiction and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm a big fan of Quantum Break. But it didn't do the number that Remedy wanted it to do. So they didn't get a sequel. That doesn't mean it flopped. It just underperformed. I hope you all know the differences between something underperforming and something flopping. You have a bunch of black men that are, which I'm going to be talking about this tonight, because the black manosphere has had a bad week. They've had a bad week. We're just going to get it out of the way. The podcast tonight about the election that I'm doing. It's going to be called Election Results, Black Panther, and the Black Manosphere's Terrible Week. So we're going to be having we're going to be laughing at, you know, the moisture that's in the Black Manosphere. So it's not, you know, it's funny. We're going to have a good time. But again, 8:00 tonight, tune in. So, because Black Panther has made close to $60 million in one day. And the Black Manosphere are supposed to be trying to boycott it. I mean, like I said, it's the worst boycott in history. Okay, it's a terrible boycott. So, and again, remember, Black Panther made that on a short day because the movies didn't start hitting until 3:00. And it's still, even though it hit at 3:00 in one day, it made 60 million. I mean, somebody get me a tissue. Matter of fact, you're ready to get your cheeks busted tonight. That's all I can really say at that point. But you all need to see these numbers. This is why I'm doing this based on numbers, so that you all can see them. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't play Modern Warfare 2, but I'm not stupid. I know the game is going to sell. And then he got shout out to Lincoln Clay, who's here in the chat. What did he say? He's like, man, he said that's one of the best looking games he's ever seen. Ever. Lincoln Clay been playing games a long time, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Lincoln, if you want to play some Rainbow Six, let me know. I ain't ever, or Division Part 2. This is for anybody. you all want to get together and play, I will put on a headset. You have to invite me. I will put on a headset and we can run around and shoot stuff, you know, if we on the Division or yeah. I'd rather play the Division Part 2 because that at least has a story. I don't know about Rainbow Six. I'm not sure. I'm not saying it doesn't. So, but can somebody explain to me why Control is getting a sequel if it flopped? You know, I would like an explanation in the, you know, not in the chat, in the comment section, because I'm a fair man. Even Darth Vader, the Dark Lord himself, the Dark Lord of the Sith, you can fail him one time, and he always give you a second chance. Okay, even in the Jedi game, Fallen Order, he didn't just go and kill Hal. He's like, go ahead and, you know, I think it'd be wise for you to surrender. You know. So, and that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. You know, I think it'd be wise for you all just to surrender. But I'm sick and tired of people. You all give us as content creators. Let me say this. And every content creator knows what I'm about to say is 100%. You all give us your ear. You can be listening to anything, anybody doing something else, be playing with Fran Ham, be watching porn, be outside, be riding a bike. You actually will sit down or whatever you're doing and give us the time that, you know, you all will actually listen to us. So we at that point as content creators owe you the absolute transparency and truth. Not a bunch of bullshit. And a lot of these guys, I mean, look at, shout out my man, shout out to Big Cloud Gaming here in the chat. Big Cloud had a podcast where Dealer Gaming was on, and Dealer Gaming said that ray tracing and everything was going to be better on the Xbox Series X. And Big Cloud knows I'm telling the truth. And the question now for Dealer Gaming is, what ray tracing? Like, name me one first-party game that Microsoft has released in 20 months that has ray tracing. I can tell you some games that on the PlayStation this release that PlayStation's releases got ray tracing. Ratchet and Clank, both Spider-Man games. I mean, you know, we can go on and on and on. But what ray tracing? See what I'm saying? It's bullshit coming out of these guys' mouths. So you haven't played Control yet? It's a good game. You have to like. It's better if you play Control. Play Alan Wake first. It's just it feels better. It's a little more heavier with Alan Wake in your brain. So let's see here. You're good. Your Seattle Chef said he's happy for a sequel. Yeah, and again, we wouldn't get a sequel if the first game didn't do well. But you had these jabronis telling you it flopped. It flopped. I didn't say that. Like I said before, this is no diss on nobody, but damn, dude. I mean, can you at least come out and say this is terrible? Oh, you know, you were out there. Oh, I can't believe it. Remedy lost money on Control. No, it didn't. Control was a big hit for them. It's a big hit. Now you could argue that maybe it underperformed. I would give you that. Maybe you want to say, but underperforming and flopping, two different things. All right. The movie Justice League is a flop. It's a flop. All right. The movie Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, it overperformed, meaning that Doctor Strange made this amount and now the sequel made more. So it overperformed based on its predecessor. But there are movies that underperform. One of my favorite movies, you know, is Tenet. Tenet underperformed. Now, granted, there were reasons why, you know, pandemic, theaters were closed, but the movie still underperformed. Had great actors in it, was a great sci-fi movie, but it underperformed. So, all of them are getting, well, again, yeah, PMP. The question isn't The question is what Dealer Gaming said. The question isn't whether yes, the Xbox can do ray tracing. Nobody's saying I didn't say that. That man told us on BitCloud's podcast that the ray tracing on the Xbox was going to be better. Okay, what ray tracing? Halo does not have ray tracing on it. That's a first-party game. Forza does not have ray tracing on it, and it targeted 30 frames per second. So again, I don't want to hear. And I think the 60 FPS mode was people are like it's 4K, and you got people saying it's 1080p, whatever. It ain't got no ray tracing. So what are they talking about when they sit down and they lie their asses off? The whole thing, $70 games is anti-consumer. Oh no. Dude, God of War is making all this money. It costs $70. My version of God of War, like you all, I put a code in. Okay? I went to the store with a code of $74.50, and that's how much. And when I gave that man this green code, okay, I had 3 20s, a 10, and a 5. That code I gave to him ended up being a financial transaction. I paid my money. God of War is selling more God of Wars in 24 hours sold in 24 hours than it did in over 150 hours. But they were complaining about $70 games being anti-consumer because they're broke and they're participating in No Nut November. All right? What's up, J-Ro? The people that told you Sony was going in the wrong direction, Sony was doing this and that, so don't know what the F they're talking about. Look at the numbers. You can have your opinion, but you need to go and participate with No Nut November with your opinion. I mean, your opinion, what's up, Nova Red? Your opinion can kiss me where the sun don't shine. And since we on the internet, that's my big black behind. I can give a rat's ass about your opinion, child. I can't believe Sony's putting games on PC. Bitch, please. They've been putting games on PC for years. And you want to brag about your trophies, even though you can cheat to get every trophy at this point. Well, look, I got a platinum. Yeah, I can get a platinum. I can get a platinum in every game because Sony has a cheat thing on, and I can just go get all the trophies. But who cares about that crap? I'd rather be ripping off the headboard with my girl than trying to chase a goddamn platinum trophy. You know, I mean, that's just me. Like I said, I have epically failed No Nut November. These guys, hey, they're gonna get a platinum trophy in No Nut November. So, I mean, go ahead and get your platinum in that. What's up, D-Nice? Cloud Strike, yeah, Section 8. I mean, look, Nick Cannon has had more kids in 2 years in Xbox than put goddamn games out. I mean, that's the truth. I mean, again, and I want next year Xbox could be a banner year. They literally Starfield, Forza, Motorsports. That is fine. Who's not excited? If you're a gamer, you want the games, right? Also, congratulations. We just had our 40-year anniversary of Flight Sim. 40 years of that game. A game that has been alive for 40 years. As a gamer, congratulations. I am glad that we have had that type of anniversary. So, yeah, JP Local. We did a moment of silence for him. JP Local failed No Nut November. Hey, look, these dudes that are chasing these trophies, these dudes that are telling you Sony's going in the wrong direction, these guys that told you Control had failed, they are participating in No Nut November. A bunch of blue pill beta males. If Sony were going in the wrong direction, why are they breaking records? I'm going to say that again. If Sony is going in the wrong direction, why are they breaking records? By default, they should be failing. By default, they should not be breaking the records. But you got these idiots online, whether it doesn't matter where they are. And again, like I said, they'll be podcasting. They podcast yesterday. They're gonna podcast probably in a few hours. I don't know. They're gonna podcast tomorrow. I don't know. Again, let me make this clear. It's one thing to say, I don't understand the direction that they're going. I'm going to wait and see, because that's what I said, because I'm not in the boardroom, right? And that's what we said here, right? We specifically said on the Porch Light podcast that Sony is doing something, and I'm not sure what it is, but we're going to give them some time because they're in the room, and they know their markets better than we know their markets. But when you're in the midst of a console war, it's like, okay, they got mad that Sony didn't give them a showcase. So what? Look, we just got a deep dive on Hogwarts. You just got a deep dive on that. We've been getting we're getting information released every week about Forspoken. We've had a ton of information released about Callisto Protocol. There's no need. We had Capcom did their Resident Evil thing. You know, so I mean, what's the point of having a showcase when they can just do that on their own? They can do that on their own. But they lost 2 million plus subscribers. Oh wow, they'll get them back. I mean, they'll get them back. I mean, that's a subscription service. Of course, they're gonna lose people off of it. You know, so what's it up to? So what is it now? Like 50 something million or whatever? They got some kind of high number. But like I said, I about choked on my chicken when YouTubers were saying, you know, they're prepared to do everything they can to prevent Sony from putting games on PC. I mean, it's crazy. They don't know. These are the same guys. They don't know the difference between the SSD and the GPU. You should see some of the stuff they put out into the public. I'll put it like that. Not helping themselves. You know, not helping. You know, well, Sony's game's getting pirated. They're going to have to get over that. I mean, I'm sorry. They will have to get over that. Shout out to Ghost in the Garage. He went shark fishing. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That man caught a tiger shark. That thing, I give credit where credit is due. That tiger shark's a man eater. You all are obsessed with the great white shark. That tiger shark, it attacks more people every year than a great white does. You know, I can't imagine getting a shark on the line. I mean, what kind of power? I mean, you were probably in the fight of your life. So, F them trophies. Well, you got trophies. You test driving. What's better, chasing trophies on your PlayStation or driving a Lamborghini? I mean, really, do I even have to ask this question? What's better, chasing trophies or buying a new boat like this man did? But I can tell you this right now, as somebody who's had a boat, the best day of my life is when I bought my boat. The second best day of my life is when I sold my boat. So, Feature says Sony even makes on how much their games get pirated, so they aren't blind for lost sales and money made. Yeah, we know that. You're right. They are in the room. They know exactly what's going on, and we don't. But because these idiots have podcasts based on the console war, they want Sony to do things so that they can console war. Like, yeah, we're going to have a podcast today, and we're going to be talking about Sony going ahead and starting their showcase. Jim Ryan, when did Jim Ryan come out and say that? Jim Ryan didn't say, we're going to let the showcases do the talking. Jim Ryan didn't say that. He did not say that. Jim Ryan said, I'm going to shut up and let the games do the talking. And that's exactly what has happened. Yet you had these numbnut nibbies out here, these no-nut November warriors, talking about they're going in the wrong direction. I didn't say that. They did. And then they had the nerve to ask to see trophies. I'm showing you my trophy. Remedy green lighting control part 2 means your sorry ass was wrong about it flopping. Modern Warfare. Here, you want to see my trophies? These are my trophies. Okay. You know, send your crew. Triple it and double it. I'll outthink them, choke them, then shrink them. That needs to stay up there for a while because there are a bunch of slow ass people out there saying that Control had flopped. Yet Remedy is greenlighting a big sequel for a game that flopped. Man, get the F out of here. Seriously, man. I don't want to hear, oh, well, you were yelling and screaming. Guess what? I handled that the wrong way. You are 100% correct. But the people who were on that bullshit were on that bullshit. But somebody needs to explain to me about God of War, why God of War is doing so well. Okay? Yet Sony is going in the wrong direction. Okay? But that's because Sony said that they're going to do this doesn't mean shut up. You were wrong. Let's just, you know, you can admit it. You're a big boy. Put on your big boy pants. I mean, you probably slept in them when you were chasing your trophies. And I don't care that you go out and you get a trophy. I'm just saying that don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It means you have more time than you should. Supposed to be doing other stuff. But my trophies is that the fact you told me that they were going in the wrong direction and God of War made more money in 24 hours than it did in a whole week in the UK. You told me that Modern Warfare 2 was a trash game and was dying, but it made over $800 million in 72 hours. I mean, you want me to keep going? How far do I need to ram my rod up your rectum? You know, it's getting crazy. The God of War was Ragnarok was always going to sell well after that. Well, okay, that's fine. But it shouldn't be selling well because Sony's going in the wrong direction. You see what I'm saying? You're correct. It's going to sell, but it shouldn't be because they're going in the wrong direction. So, you know, that's you know, that's what we got told. I didn't now let's be honest, JP. I didn't tell you that. I didn't sit around in a circle jerk and put on a headset and say, they're going in the wrong direction. I didn't do that. And I don't care if God of War is game of the year because that's subjective. The best game I played this year, well, was Mass Effect, but let's throw that to the side. The best game I have enjoyed this year so far, was when I was playing Forbidden West. That's my game of the year. But again, it's all subjective. Your game of the year could be the re-release of The Last of Us. Oh, and if you don't know, it is more information coming out that that something called The Last of Us Fractions or whatever it is going to be a free-to-play monetized game, just like I told you it was going to be. And what did these sorry dudes say? No, they can't do this. They can do whatever they want. Now, you can be a man and you can say, well, I'm not going to buy the game. I'm not going to buy it. You know, I'll cover it because I cover gaming news on this channel. But, so I'll cover it because that's the right thing to do. But I'm not going to play it. And I'm not going to complain if it is. Like, what are you going to be doing? Well, everything's monetized. If it's a free-to-play monetized game, they're trying to take what Epic did with Fort Pub or whatever it's called, Fortnite Pub, whatever this game is called. It's very popular. And Fortnite. And they're trying to bring something like that to PlayStation, which means that game will be a day-and-date release game on PC, just like I told you it would be. Just like the majority of these games that are always going to be always online are going to be. And don't be shocked if you don't see these games on the Nintendo Switch, because Nintendo is allegedly getting another console put together. I mean, you know, now they can turn off the whatever it is, the sound as far as the audio, so that the little kids don't hear you all yelling and screaming like a bunch of sorry ass slobs. But you know, don't be shocked. You know, Sean Layton, who these guys would have given fellatio to, all right. He's the one who started the migration of PlayStation games to PC, but they wanted to bring him back. Why? All Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan are doing is an extension of what Layton is doing. So they got people from Epic, from the Fortnite division, to help out with. It's called factions. Okay, all right, yeah, that's fine. I mean, again, I'm not saying anything negative about that game. I am simply saying to you that this is what Sony is doing. Let me make this clear. It's okay not to like it. It's okay to not like it, but you need to put foot to gumshoe and say, I don't like it, therefore I'm not going to participate. Right? I'm not going to participate. Therefore, I don't care what Sony does. Congratulations to them on their success. I am no longer in their ecosystem. But these guys, because they're betas, are going to sit around and they're going to complain about it. See what I'm saying? And that's what pisses me off about people. I can see if you had no choice, like none. You had no choice. But you have a choice. You do have a choice. And like, nah, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna complain. Okay, complain with your bitch ass then. I mean, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Complain, you know. So the Forbidden West best graphics, hands down, this gen. Ragnarok looks great. But that open world and yeah, well, I mean, they're two different kind of games. God of War is kind of on at least the part that I played. And let me make this clear. What did we just do? The thing that happens after, I don't want to spoil it because there are people that still haven't got their games delivered yet. So, but the first, I want to say, hour and a half into the game, that's where I'm at. And I'm gonna start over because that's the way I play my games. I will start over to kind of get a feel on what they want me to do, the developers, on how I should play the game. But so it's something else, but it's on a rail. Yeah, Forbidden West is open world, and that game is stunning. Now, understand, I haven't played it since I got my OLED. I got it loaded up, and when I come back later today, because there's no really good college football games on today, so when I come back later today, I will be partaking in the Forbidden West. At least that opening sequence where you got to fight that giant metal snake or something like that. I'll play it up to there because I want to see it on the OLED. Hold on, you call them Suki Lalas or Layla? Is it Laylas? Yeah, I mean these dudes, man, are betas, man. They're betas. They tell you in one podcast Sony's anti-consumer and they're going in the wrong direction, and then the next podcast they bragging about the Metacritic score. I mean, these dudes are some straight up clowns, but I don't listen to them. You know, I don't. How do I know that they said that? Because people forwarded the information to me in something called a short clip. I'm like, well, how do they know they're going in the wrong direction? There's no data out there yet. Now we have actual physical data. They raised the price on their console. Guess what? They're still the #1 selling console. Well, they're barely doing it. Well, they're still #1. I don't care if I beat you by 1 point or 21 points. It doesn't matter. I go to the next round. So you think Remedy should do a Doctor Strange game? Possibly. So Suki Lala. Okay, I got you. Start calling these dudes Suki Lalas. I like that. is. Oh, let me see what you all are talking about here for the next few minutes before I get out of here. My Uber will be here in like 15 minutes. They just text me. So, Feature says apparently Forza Horizon 5 looks better than God of War. Okay. That's fine. That's their opinion. I disagree, and I played Forza on a PC, and it doesn't look as good, but okay. Definitely not gonna. Both are Game of the Year tier. Again, yeah, that's subjective. It means crybabies. Well, I just think they're reactionary. I mean, and when you're reacting, you're not dictating. Men dictate, and women react. And that's just kind of the best way to put it. That's some red pill knowledge early in the morning for you. So, we just said most likely they're already creating their own DRM game launcher for PC. Possibly. Wouldn't shock me. Ghost in the Garage said it took 6 hours for you to bring that shark in. So you brought him in. Did you release him, or did you? Are you getting him? Getting that? How big is it? Was it, you say how big? Did you ever say how big it was? I can't remember if you said it was 6 feet, or maybe you did, and I just didn't see it. So another Forspoken deep dive. Yeah, we're getting the information. It's just because they're not getting it in a way where they can do a console war. They're upset about that. Also, remember they interchange anti-consumerism. What that means in their beta male language is I don't like what they're doing. So they raised the price. This is anti-consumer. The games went up to $70, anti-consumer. It basically means I don't like what they're doing. But they're beta males. Remember, you got to remember, these are betas. So in betas, they see the world differently than we see them. We're alphas and we're sigmas. So, yeah, the Aussies seem to have some colorful insults there. Yeah, I agree. Bloody Dragon. So, yeah, best looking game I've seen so far. This for and let me make this clear: the Resident Evil when I turned on all the bells and whistles on my TV, the VRR mode and all that. When I turned that man, that game is smooth. Wow, that game is smooth. So shout out to you guys for putting me up on game on that. So, at Cloud Strife, they really did say that. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree. So, JP Local says he can't drive, so he's chasing trophies. Well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not insulting people chasing trophies. I'm just simply saying that y'all got way too much time on your hands. But again, that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. To be fair, you do want to see what Sony first-party studios are working on. Okay, but you got a bunch of look. We got how many first-party games came out this year from their studios? Insomniac, didn't they release? I mean, come on, Insomniac. We know what they're working on. We know that. We know what that Naughty Dog's the game they're working on. I can't think of the name. The people who do Gran Turismo, they just released Gran Turismo. Horizon, they're working on a VR game. The people who do Horizon Zero Dawn, they're working on a Gorilla. Okay. Sony Bend is working on a new game. We know that. Now, if you want to say, we know this. All right. An Australian bird. Oh my. Oh my. So, what? All right, and JP Local, understand. I understand wanting to know what their first party is working on. That is different than bitching about it, okay? That is, let's not be a bunch of Suki Lalas about it, okay? You caught some of Mr. Boomstick's. There's your problem. You should not be listening to Mr. Boomstick. So, couldn't stop laughing from all the hypocrisy. Yeah, that's another thing. That's why at least my Twitter timeline cleared up. Because all those Xbox fanboys, they're hypocrites. I mean, good grief. they're complaining about Sony, and then you see Crap Gamer complain about Sony, but now he's playing God of War. I mean, this is ridiculous. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So, very curious of what Blue Point is working on. I understand that. That being curious, one thing. Bitching that you don't get to see it, something totally different. There's a total difference. It's okay. You've invested in the ecosystem. You would like to see what they're working on. Fair enough. That makes perfect sense, but that's where it ends. That's where it ends. So, but I do have to get off here, guys. Like I said, my Uber's like 9 minutes out, and I still ain't really dressed yet. So, but I will talk to you guys later. Just remember, it is No Nut for November, and a lot of these guys that told you all this stuff was full of crap. No pun intended. I will talk to you guys a little bit later. Remember, I'm doing that podcast tonight on the election and the terrible. We'll talk the election. We'll talk about the number Black Panther got in one day, and we'll talk about the bad week that the Black Manosphere had. So I will talk to you guys later.